Today I would like to share how to do a field repair on a bridle using the bare minimum of tools that I might actually have on hand in the middle of a kite field. As you can see, I'm not actually in a kite field, so some of this is synthetic, but the principle is still the same. I'm going to use this as my bridle line, much in the same way as I don't know the length of all the bridle lines in the kites I fly. I don't know the length of this either. But that's not the point. The point is to suffer some damage, or have some damage imposed upon myself by a small child with a disposable kite more often than not, and make a repair which leaves me with this bridle line the same length as it was when I started. So I'm going to take this, lay it out on a flat surface, and just do a butt join here so the ends meet. I'm then going to take a marker pen, which I keep in my kit bag, and I'm going to wander around the kite field and find myself a stick. Here's one I prepared earlier. I'm going to take that stick and place it next to my kite line. It doesn't matter how long it is, just a convenient length. I'm going to mark the length of my stick with my Sharpie. So the purpose of the repair is to join the line back together in such a way that these two marks are the same distance apart from each other as they are now. I'll put that down. So I'm going to reach into my kit bag and pull out a bit of string. Normally I would try to use something that is as similar as possible to the line that I am replacing, but I've chosen to use this orange stuff just so that it is a little clearer exactly what I'm doing here. I'm going to cut an appropriate length of this, and now start tying knots. The first one I'm going to do is a figure of 8 stopper knot in one end of my broken bridle line, and then a figure of 8 stopper knot in the other side of my broken bridle line. Then I'm going to take the additional line, this orange bit, I'm going to do the same thing in here. A couple of stopper knots near the end. Go in there. I find that tying knots is more difficult when a video camera is running. Pull that tight. Pull it on the other end. And now the knot I'm going to use is simply a figure of 8 tied around the other line. A figure of 8, I'm going to tie it so it cinches up on that stopper knot. Figure of 8 on the other side. I'm going to do the same here. Figure of 8 here. Figure of 8 there. Part of the point here is that they're tightening up on the figure of 8 knots. So if we need to adjust it, the only thing we need to do is move the figure of 8. So I'm going to take that and compare it to my stick again. And if I line it up at that side, the difference here is quite considerable. So I'm going to undo the knot at one end. I'm going to adjust that by what feels like an appropriate amount. We'll find it. It was a finger span, wasn't it? I think it's about right. I'm going to put in a stopper knot here. Put that. Pull some slack. Tie a figure of 8 knot again. Cinch it up and do another test. From there to there. I've overdone it. I've got almost an inch to take off that. So I'm going to do this not by undoing it, but just moving this stopper knot down a bit. Sometimes the figure of 8 knot will quite happily move, but this orange line isn't quite so friendly. That might be about right. I'll loosen this up so it stops, tightens on that stopper knot. And we'll check it again. That one there. This one on this side. That's good enough for flying on. So, a repaired line, which without measuring it, I now know is exactly the same length as this line was to start with. Done in the field using only a bit of line that I had spare in my pocket, and a Sharpie, and a stick that I found in the field. Thank you very much.